Hi, this is Don Farber with VineyardSoft Corporation, and I'd like to welcome you to this sixth training session on query designing in the KnowledgeSync solution. In the preceding training sessions, we've walked through the process of creating a record-level query, one that identifies customer accounts where their over 90-day balance is in excess of a certain amount. For this training session, we're going to talk about testing or previewing the results of this query. The Preview tab is the very last tab in the Query Designer, and when you select it, the first thing that KnowledgeSync does is check to see if your query has any parameter-driven filters. A parameter-driven filter is one that has a question mark in the compare value, such as you see here. So when we preview this query, we are going to get prompted to specify a 90-day balance. And we're going to look for any customers that have a 90-day balance in excess of $2,500. When we do so, we find that there is one customer out there that has an over 90-day balance in excess of $2,500. Now, when you preview a query, in some cases, you're not going to receive any matching records. For example, if I specify an over 90-day balance in excess of $5,000, I know that there are no matching records in my underlying accounting application, and thus Preview shows me no matching records. But even this window of no matching records is helpful to me because it shows that this query successfully executed. If there was something amiss or wrong in the query, I would get an error message. For example, if I went to preview this query and did not specify a threshold, KnowledgeSync would come back to me with an error. And you can see from the error, it's looking to do a comparison that age category 3 balance is greater than some amount, but no amount has been specified. So if you preview a query and you do get an error message, try and look into the error message and figure out what might be amiss within your query. Now, if you are unable to get your query to show any matching records, what we often suggest that you do is to go to the Filters tab and remove all of your columns for filtering, and then run the query like that and see if you get any matching results. And in this case, as you can see, I have a number of customer records within my ERP application database, only 2 of whom actually have category 3 balances. At this point, I could go back to my Filters tab and begin to add my filters one at a time and preview the query after each addition. Finally, last note about preview mode is if you are designing a query that uses the function if column values have changed, which identifies if a value in your underlying database has been changed, when you preview such a query, this logic is ignored. And that's because preview mode in the Query Designer has no knowledge of a previous or old value for a field. Therefore, it has nothing to compare a new value against. Once again, therefore, when you preview a query that uses the if column values have changed functionality, that particular functionality is ignored when you run preview mode. So that ends our training session on the Preview tab within the Query Designer. We thank you very much for your time and look forward to speaking with you in a future KnowledgeSync training session. Thanks very much.